I want to tell you something nobody says out loud. The world does not treat you based on who you are. It treats you based on what you are worth. I know this because I watched it happen to me. Same face, same name, same heart. But every single time the number in my bank account changed, the people around me changed too. Not a little, completely. The way they looked at me, the way they spoke to me, whether they saw me at all. This is the story of what money really does. And here's the twist you won't expect. It does almost nothing to you. It does everything to everyone else. So let's start where I started, at the very bottom, at zero. $0. Not broke for a weekend, broke like the floor's gone. I counted coins on my kitchen table just to buy bread. I stood in the store doing math, praying the card wouldn't get declined at the front. I let phone calls go to voicemail because I already knew I couldn't pay whoever was calling. And here is the part that hurt the most. Nobody was cruel to me. They just didn't see me. I would walk into a room and feel like glass. People looked straight through me like I wasn't standing there at all. The waiter's smile got shorter. The handshake got faster. Friends got busy. Messages stopped coming back. When you have nothing, the world doesn't attack you. It ignores you. And that is so much worse than being hated. Because being hated means you still matter enough to notice. Being invisible means you don't. And slowly, you start to believe the silence. You start to think that maybe the world is right about you. Maybe you really are nothing. I remember sitting in the dark, phone screen glowing, watching everyone else's life move without me. But I wasn't nothing. I was just early. $10,000. My first real cushion. It is not rich, not even close. But something shifts inside you and outside you too. For the first time in my life, I could say one small word. No. No to the shift I hated. No to the people who only appeared when they needed something. 10 grand doesn't buy freedom. It buys a pause. It buys a little bit of air to breathe. And people can feel it on you. I don't know how, but they can. The landlord who used to bang on my door suddenly calls me, "Sir." The bank stops sending warnings and starts sending offers. A friend who completely vanished when I had nothing was suddenly just thinking about me. Nobody says it out loud, but people can smell stability the way animals smell rain coming. At $10,000, the world stops ignoring you, and it starts doing something brand new. It starts watching you, measuring you, wondering quietly, is this guy on his way up? And for the first time, I felt it. I felt what it's like to be counted. $100,000. Now the whole room turns when I walk in. This is the level where I finally learned how the mask really works. People I had barely met started calling me my friend like we'd known each other for years. Family that forgot my birthday for a decade suddenly remembered my phone number. I got invited to things, dinners, trips, rooms I had never been allowed near before. Not because they liked me, because I looked like someone who was going somewhere. And that taught me a brutal little truth about people. Most of them don't actually respect you. They respect your direction. They respect the story of where they think you're about to end up. And here is the scary part nobody admits. It feels amazing. You start to enjoy being seen. You start to need it. You laugh a little louder. You stand a little taller. And you forget. You forget you were completely invisible just 1 year ago. You forget how cold it was. You forget how quiet the bottom really was. And that forgetting is the most dangerous part of all. $1 million. The word millionaire. I thought it would feel like winning the whole game. Instead, it felt like putting on a mask I could never take off again. Because now, everyone wants something. The pitch, the investment, the loan, the quick little favor just this once. Strangers smile a bit too wide, a bit too fast. And the old friends, they get quiet, then distant, then gone. Not because they hate you, because the gap between your life and theirs got too wide to talk across. You can't complain about your problems. Yours sound like bragging now, and you can't relate to theirs, not the way you used to. At $1 million, people stop seeing Leo. They see an opportunity wearing a face. And slowly, quietly, you stop being able to tell who is real anymore. Because a genuinely kind message and a well-planned con look exactly the same on the screen. So you build walls. You trust less. You start double-checking everyone's motives. You win all of this money and you lose the ability to fully relax around another human being ever again. Nobody warns you about that one. $10 million. Now I don't chase anything. It chases me. Doors open before I even lift my hand to knock. Deals land in my inbox. People I used to look up to now want to be in my room. The velvet rope that kept me out my whole life just lifts on its own. And I won't lie to you. It is intoxicating. It feels like power. But then I noticed something cold underneath it all. The nicer everyone got, the lonelier I actually felt. Because I finally understood the pattern I was living inside. They weren't drawn to me. They were drawn to the gravity. Money bends people toward you the exact same way light bends around a star. From the outside, it looks just like love. But it isn't love. It's physics. At $10 million, you can buy almost anyone's attention, anyone's time, anyone's smile. And the moment you truly understand that is the moment you can never fully trust any of it again. You get everyone, and you believe no one. $100 million. This is not a bigger version of rich. This is a different planet entirely. At this level, people don't want your friendship. They need your access. I became a door that other powerful people walk through to get what they want. The important take my call in the middle of anything. Rooms go completely silent the second I have an opinion. People laugh half a second before the joke even lands. And that half a second, it tells you absolutely everything. It means they're performing. It means they were watching your face, not listening to your words. Everyone around you is auditioning all the time, every day. At 100 million, you are never the smartest person in the room. You're just the richest. And everybody quietly treats those two things as if they are the same thing. I could say something genuinely foolish and watch a table of brilliant people nod along. And that is exactly when it hit me, harder than any level before. I hadn't gotten any wiser on the way up. I'd just gotten louder. The money was doing all the talking now, and I was starting to forget the sound of my own voice. So here is what I learned, going all the way from 0 to $100 million. The money never changed me. It just changed the volume on everyone else. At 0, I was invisible, and people looked straight through me. At 100 million, I was worshipped, and people hung on every word. Same person, same jokes, same heart, same me. The only thing that ever moved was the number. And the number, not the man, decided how I got treated. Which means almost none of it was ever really about me at all. So now I watch for one thing and one thing only. The people who treated me exactly the same at 0 as they do today. There aren't many of them. I'll be honest with you. You can count them on one hand. But those few people are the only thing all this money could never buy and could never fake. So if someone stood beside you when you had absolutely nothing, protect them with everything you have. Because when you finally get everything, they will be the only ones left that you can actually believe. Money doesn't show you who you are. It shows you who everyone else always secretly was. And that is the most expensive lesson I have ever paid for.